Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a trip into the most mysterious territory there is, your own mind. Seriously, we're talking about everything from the wild movies that play in your head while you sleep to those powerful visions you have when you're wide awake. So, yeah, let's pull back the curtain on the theater of the mind.
You know the feeling, right? You wake up, your heart's pounding, and you're thinking, what in the world was that? Maybe you were flying, or all your teeth were falling out, or you were back in high school trying to find a locker you haven't seen in decades. These dreams can feel so random, so deep, or sometimes just plain weird. So what is actually going on up there?
All right, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is a dream? The best way to think about it is like your brain is running its own private film festival every single night. And guess what? You're the only one who gets a ticket.
So picture this. While you're sleeping, your brain has this big power shift. The part that's in charge of logic and rational thought, yeah, that's your prefrontal cortex, and it's basically clocked out for the night. But your emotional center, the limbic system, is throwing a party. It's wide awake and completely running the show. And that's why our dreams feel so incredibly real and hit us with such intense emotion, even when the plot makes absolutely zero sense. You feel the pure joy or the paralyzing fear, no matter how bizarre it all is.
But why? What's the point of all this? Well, there are two major camps here. On one side, you've got the famous Sigmund Freud. He was convinced that dreams are a secret window into our unconscious mind, showing us all our hidden wishes and desires. Then, on the other side, you have the cognitive theory. This idea is a lot more practical. It sees dreaming as a kind of mental housekeeping. Your brain is like an office manager at the end of a long day, sorting through everything that happened, filing away the important stuff as memories, and maybe even trying to solve a few problems you couldn't figure out when you were awake.
Of course, the brain's nightly movie marathon isn't always showing rom-coms and adventures. Sometimes, the feature presentation turns into a full-blown horror film. Let's talk about the dark side of sleep.
You know, we use the words bad dream and nightmare all the time like they're the same thing. But there's actually a really important clinical difference. A bad dream is, well, it's just a bad dream. It's unpleasant, it might make you feel a little weird in the morning, but that's about it. A true nightmare, though, is defined by one thing: intensity. It is so terrifying, so real, that it physically jolts you awake. That sudden wake-up call, that's the key.
Now, here's a twist you might not see coming. Bad dreams can actually be good for you. I know, it sounds weird, but they're a kind of mental rehearsal. Your brain is running a simulation, replaying a scary memory in a totally safe space so you can process it. It's a process called fear extinction memory. It's like your brain is taking a venomous memory and carefully defanging it, stripping away its power to hurt you so you can learn how to cope.
And this is exactly why nightmares are so damaging. When a nightmare jolts you awake, it's like yanking the power cord on that crucial safety simulation. The whole fear processing thing gets cut short. The defanging isn't finished. For someone with a condition like PTSD, this can become a really vicious cycle. The nightmare keeps happening, which prevents them from ever actually processing the trauma. It keeps that fear just as raw and powerful as the day it happened.
Okay, but what if you didn't have to just sit there and watch the movie? What if you could actually jump into the director's chair? Well, that brings us to the absolutely fascinating world of lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is that incredible aha moment in the middle of a dream where some part of your brain goes, wait a second, I'm dreaming. That single moment of awareness is a total game changer. Suddenly, you're not just a character getting dragged along by the plot. You're the scriptwriter, the director, and the star all at once. You can actually participate, change things, and control where the story goes.
And the potential here is just amazing. Imagine being able to turn around and face that monster in your nightmare because you know you're in charge. People learn to do this, sometimes by doing things like keeping a dream journal. They use it as a personal flight simulator to practice for a big speech, or as a virtual sandbox to unlock their creativity. It's a powerful, powerful tool for personal growth.
So we've explored the wild landscape of our sleeping minds. But our brains don't just shut off their creative engines when we wake up. In fact, some of our most powerful thinking happens with our eyes wide open. Let's talk about the unsung hero of creativity, the daydream. Seriously, think about your day. How much time do you spend with your head in the clouds? Well, get this. Research shows that our minds are wandering for nearly half of our waking hours, almost 50%. And that's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a fundamental part of how our brains are designed to work. We have this idea that daydreaming means you're not focusing, that you're just zoning out. But that's not what's happening at all.
When your mind wanders, it's actually entering this highly creative and productive state. It's making new connections between ideas, it's rehearsing that tough conversation you need to have, it's working on problems in the background. It's basically your brain's own private innovation lab.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We call the most innovative people on the planet visionaries. But what is a vision, really? It's just a powerful, focused daydream. Visionaries are just people who have mastered the art of daydreaming. They harness this natural ability to imagine a different future, to play out possibilities, and to build something new in their mind's eye long before anyone else can see it.
So, we've gone on quite a journey, haven't we? From the deep emotional storms of our nightly dreams, all the way to the focused creative power of our daydreams. So what's the big takeaway? It's the incredible, non-stop creativity that's always buzzing away inside our heads.
At the end of the day, whether you're asleep or awake, your mind is a relentless creation engine and never stops building worlds, solving puzzles, and telling stories. So the real question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to be a passive audience member in your own inner cinema, or are you going to step into the director's chair and become the visionary of your own life? That's something to think about. Thanks for exploring this with us.